Now, the schedule requires some discussion because it's actually quite an important part of the course. So again, please read this paragraph in detail, okay, about the structure of the class. It is a flipped classroom, and what that means is you'll have to watch pre-videos before the tutorial and post-videos after the tutorial. After watching each of the video sets, you'll have to do some type of continuous assessment as a programming or MCQ assignment that you'll need to do within Coursemology. So here, for example, is a typical topic schedule for one of the weeks. For example, let's look at week 4, linear classifiers and logistic regression. You're going to be watching the videos for this in that particular week on week 4. Then you'll do the pre-assessment on that week by Friday night. The following week, you're going to typically have tutorials on the topic. So you can see up above in week 5, which we are introducing a new topic, we actually in tutorial are going over tutorial number 3, also on linear classifiers and logistic regression. Now our tutorials are Monday through Wednesday, so if you still don't have a very good handle on the topic, there's no problem. You can come to our Thursday help session, which will be during the class timing at LT19. You'll have to complete the post-tutorial set of videos and an assessment that you're going to put into Coursemology assessments by that Saturday night. Now, Coursemology is not a terribly good practice programming platform, so you may want to use Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook if you've installed Jupyter Hub, okay, on your own computer to complete the programming assignment, and then you can cut and paste it into Coursemology. Now, also note that we do have another session for the in-class, okay? So this is completely optional. If you find the pace of videos too fast or you want some guided help, a number of us, especially myself, will be available during the actual class session at the LT, at the Lecture Theater 19. Okay, and we don't expect many people to be there. It's completely optional. Again, your flipped classroom means your videos that you're watching online substitute for your lecture time. Okay, so this is just a centralized help slot for anyone who's having some difficulty, have questions about the project, or have questions about the tutorial, don't know how to step through it, then you can come to that help session. Okay, so I'll explain how that works in a little while. So I want to go over the actual session a bit more with you. Okay, so we have 13 weeks in the course. It's actually divided into 2 halves. So we have week 1 through, oops, sorry, doesn't show up very well. Let me try another color. Week 1 through week 6, which is the first half of our course, which will be covering basic machine learning using one element. So linear classifiers and logistic regression, as well as naive Bayes and k-nearest neighbors. Okay, we're going to start with concept learning, which is a fundamental concept within machine learning to help you get started. Okay, after understanding these basic learners, in weeks 5 and 6, we're going to cover bias variance and overfitting, as well as regularization and validation. These are 2 really important topics that underpin the entire framework and foundation of machine learning and how to decide what classifiers to use. Okay, after mastering most of these subjects up until week 5, so we'll stop around here because that's what we'll be able to cover for tutorial, we're going to have our midterm. So everything up to this point will be tested in week 7. Okay, after week 7, we're going to have a chance to go deeper into materials that are more recent. So everyone, I think, knows that deep learning has taken machine learning by storm, and now most applications that you see in machine learning are actually deep learning applications. Okay, so this means that we're going to be covering neural networks, which has been around for a very long time, but now deep learning we'll have 1 lecture on, and from there, we'll go on to the rest of the course. So in particular, note that we don't have enough time to cover all of the interesting things about deep learning. It's very well advised for teams that want to execute a deep learning project to go learn many of these resources on your own. That will also give you a leg up when it comes to the deep learning lecture because you'll have some experience with it that we'll try to reinforce. Okay, after deep learning, we're going to come back to another couple areas that we haven't been able to touch on, specifically ensembling, which is when we put several different machine learners together. Okay, unsupervised machine learning, which we'll talk about more in week 1, as well as reinforcement and adversarial machine learning, another popular topic when you don't have information about what the ground truth is, okay, what the answer should be. Okay. Finally, a very important topic that's a little bit lightweight in terms of technical information, but very, very important for the deployment of machine learning is ethics. So we'll go over ethics in the final week of the course, and then we'll have our final assessment on the 25th of November. Okay, if you have questions about this, please go ahead and ask in the video annotation utility that you have in Coursemology. Okay, I also want to go over information about the project schedule, but these I'm going to talk about more when we come to the video about projects. So I'm not going to talk about them rough here, but do take a look at this timeline, and when you watch the video for projects, you can take a look at these information.